Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Doing good.
Yes.
I'm doing great. So for my guests or students watching today, I'm gonna show Miss Angelina here in a second, but let's get started. Welcome to Let's Talk Ed with Professor Chris, the best college podcast, of course, where we explore the big questions about education, careers, and the future, but most importantly, we are empowering minds one episode at a time. I am your host, Professor Chris, and our topic for today is going to be balancing books and barbells. You heard it right. Balancing books and barbells, a college student's guide to exercise and nutrition. I could not do this topic any justice without my guest today. So I'm going to do a quick introduction about my guest today, Miss Angelina Gayle. She is an author, mother, professional bodybuilder. You heard it right, professional bodybuilder, an athlete, a model, businesswoman, and a U.S. Army veteran. She is a remarkable woman with an incredible story. Hopefully we'll be able to share someone here. And she is a true inspiration to myself, and I'm sure will be to you all too. Please, 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 please help me in welcoming Miss Angelina Gayle. How we doing?
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
I know I'm going to do this, right? You know I'm going to do this. Yes. Okay. I'm going to do this. I have to do it. That's no surprise to Miss. There you go. There you go. Thank you. So, Miss Angelina, welcome. By the way, I didn't miss you though. I really missed you.
Yes.
I really missed you, and I've been trying to see if we could do this again. For all you listeners there, if it feels like, why am I saying that, it's happy to have you here, because we're trying this again, right?
Yes.
We did it once. But I did an intro about Miss Angelina. Miss Angelina and I go way back. While I'm at it, the beautiful outfit you see Miss Angelina in is blackness. So Ibra, who is a dear friend of mine, you owe me one for promoting, okay, this year. But it's great to have you. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Okay. All right. Before I start though, since I mentioned you being a veteran, I do want to take my hat off to you.
Thank you.
For all the service that you and your family and your kids.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. My son just graduated.
Wow.
This week.
Yes. So once again, my hat off to you for all you all do, the whole family do, to support our country and for all your service.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. All right, so let's get started. I already said let's get started. I'm going to say it again. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for you being here again. And by the way, for those of you that are either questioning my outfit today, my baseball cap, my shoe, is because we're talking about exercising. It's all sports today, so I figured I might pretend, right, to be just like Miss Angelina is also dressed up here in her exercising outfit. So, real quick,
Yes.
the question I always ask all my guests is, where you are today, is that where you've always seen yourself? Let's go back to, let's say, 5th grade. Yes, let's start from there. In 5th grade, were you always thinking, I'm going to be in the military, I'm going to be a model, I'm going to be a bodybuilder? Did that all happen in 5th grade?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
For the modeling, yes.
Okay.
Because my mother was a model, so that was something I saw in front of me. I always wanted to be a model, international model. As far as being an athlete, I've always been an athlete.
Right.
So when I was in 5th grade, I was in our high school was adjacent to the middle school, and I used to watch them run the track from the school, and I was like, I want to do that. Yeah. So I started running in 7th grade, from 7th to 12th grade. But I've always been an athlete.
Okay.
So I did see myself as a professional athlete, but I thought I was going to be a professional track runner.
Okay.
My goal was to get to the Olympics.
Nice.
So Yeah, but as far as being a bodybuilder
Right.
in New York, nobody really talked about that. That wasn't a thing.
Right.
So no, I didn't.
You did it.
I didn't see that. No.
Okay. So take us back a little bit to we finished high school. When I'm trying to figure out the transition between bodybuilding and the military, which one came first?
Military came
Okay,
first. So
okay.
I went to medical school first, not for my PhD, but I did go into the healthcare field.
Okay.
And then shortly after I graduated, I worked for a little bit in like the doctor's office and things like that. And then I decided I was going to go in to the military.
Okay.
So that happened first.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. So then we were in the military and then you were like, this is not fun enough. I just want to go into bodybuilding.
Actually, bodybuilding came like
Yeah.
way later.
Really?
It wasn't, I never thought of it. So after I went into the service, I got out, I went back into, and I've done a lot of things. I'm Jamaican, so.
Right.
I've done hair, I've done everything. So actually when I got out, I went back to the salon to do hair again.
Okay.
Then I left from there, went back into the healthcare field. And then I started doing physical fitness / healthcare field for a while.
Right.
And then I went back into modeling in 2009. I started that, modeling in New York Fashion Week, things like that.
Right.
While I was at home and my kids were in preschool and my other kids were in school, I was kind of bored. Came across Generation Iron, and that's where the bodybuilding thing kind of started.
So you just sneaked in Jamaica. I was not just going to let you go off of that little sneak preview of Jamaica. So what are going? Big things are going.
Yes,
Big things are going on the yard. Where in Jamaica?
So I have some family from Kingston.
Okay.
And then I also have family in St. Kitts.
Okay.
But the bulk of my family on my father's side is in Kingston.
Okay.
Yes.
Students, of all this time I've known Miss Angelina, this is the first time I've heard about, and she wasn't just going to sneak away with that JA connection. But let's get back to it. We'll do a whole show on that one. Since we're going to be talking about exercise, and I'm going to really focus on IFBB. And I must admit, I did a little research on IFBB. There is IFBB and there is IFBB Pro.
Yes.
Which is what you are.
Correct.
So IFBB is International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness. Tell me a little bit about that. Tell me a little bit about IFBB Pro.
So I would say it's a very prestigious title to have, not one I ever can say I would have seen myself with. It took a lot to get here. A lot of discipline, a lot of dedication, sacrifice, tears, sweat, everything, and doing it as a single mother.
Right.
I feel like I was put in this place to do this so I could show other people and women in particular that we can do all things even if we think we can or not.
Okay.
So International Federation of Bodybuilding changed my life. I was going through a really difficult time in my life, and working out and having an outlet and a place to relieve stress, it really opened doors for me as well. Okay. Which got me here.
Good.
Which got me in this really nice outfit.
Blackness. Okay. No, that's
which
great.
is a sports brand I am signed with.
Good.
So
good.
But yes, it's a very prestigious title to have, but also it's a great federation to be a part of.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm gonna real quick, and then we'll get off IFBB. But I'm very, very interested in knowing. By the way, when you were IFBB Pro, what was your nickname? The Rock, the Stone.
So actually, I was going to choose the Sensation.
Okay.
Right,
okay.
that was going to be my stage name.
Which would fit in. Yeah.
Yes, the Sensation. But by the time I turned pro, like they weren't kind of doing the nickname. That was like before me. Okay. And nobody was really calling nicknames. But I was so proud to hear my name that was given to me at birth be called.
Nice.
There's nothing like hearing your name be called and have IFBB attached to it.
No, that's great. Just real quick, walk us through preparation and a typical day of let's say there's a, what do you call it, a show, an IFBB show, or competition?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
The competition.
Right.
So walk you through the competition day, or walk you through
Let's do competition
prepping.
day. Let's do competition day. Yeah.
So competition day, you know, you're going to get up. You're going to, hopefully you've made it to the weight that you're trying to get to, and you made it to the look that you're trying to get to.
Right.
So therefore you can remain calm. Okay. If not, there's still a lot of work to be done first thing in the morning. You're still trying to get water off. You're probably at the gym, sitting in the sauna. You're probably wearing a sauna suit with sweats on top of there, doing a massive amount of cardio, you know, starving yourself because you didn't quite get there. If you're on point, then you can get up, relax, practice your posing. You want to be as stress-free as possible. You kind of have your legs up because you're still, the water is still kind of draining a little bit. You should pretty much be dry. And then you're just going over your posing, you're eating what you're supposed to be doing. You're making sure that you're filling up those muscle cells so that you look phenomenal by the time it's time to get to stage. And you're just preparing your mind. You're just pumping up, listening to something relaxing, stretching. Should be a nice relaxing time. Like I said, if you're on point.
Great. All right. So for all, by the way, you can see Miss Angelina on just Google her name, IFBB, you see her, and the discipline that it takes, you know, I know you just kind of went through very quick, but I also just kind of want us to get to our topic for today. But maybe we just have you come here, just talk about IFBB. We'll do a whole show on IFBB.
Because it would take a whole show.
It would take a whole show, right?
To talk about
absolutely.
all of that.
Yeah. So once again, I'm very, very excited to have Miss Angelina here. Let's get right to our topic. Once again, the topic is Balancing Books and Barbells, a college student's guide to exercise and nutrition. I hope we're going to be talking about health, wellness, and student life, and then we'll also talk about some of the challenges. Of course, mine is, why are students not exercising, especially college students? Sadly, the percentage of students currently classified as inactive, that means they're not exercising, is 50%. 50. Miss Angelina, that's not good. You got to help me help our students. Okay, so we're going to try today. 50%, the last time I checked, in the United States of America, college students, which includes community colleges, was about 24 million. So if it's 50%, 12 million of college students are not exercising. Okay. The other question, I'm going to throw this out there, it's also going to be what I use for my closing, but students will always say, when I'm trying to encourage them to exercise, they always say, I get tired. How does it help with my academics? Believe it or not, there's been a study that was done because I guess a lot of college students have been asking the same question, how does exercising help me? There was a study that was done for a 3-year period where they got some students and they had them exercise. And believe it or not, it helped the academic achievement by 6%. I've always told my students, wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, right? And try to do your timetables, like 2 times 4, just throw out numbers there. You're not functioning well. You go and you exercise, try that same experiment again, and you see how sharp you become. I'm not a doctor, I'm not trying to be one, but I also know the advantages that comes with exercising and blood flow and something that gets your mind sharpened up. Okay. So now that I've given you all the stats, now I'm going to turn it over to you, Miss Angelina. Why are students not exercising?
Well, I would say over the years as a fitness professional, I've heard a numerous amount of reasons why people don't exercise.
People in general.
People in general. But the main reasons brought to my attention, preferably through college students, were that the gyms are too far, or there's a lack of facilities, time management, not enough time, a lack of energy, a lack of motivation, a lack of skill, weather conditions, they don't have the right social support, and the number one thing is the high cost. So my suggestion would be to choose activities that require minimal facilities, minimal equipment, such as walking, jogging, jumping rope, You can even do some calisthenics.
Okay.
You can invest in a few inexpensive items to help with your daily workout routine, like resistance bands, kettlebells, dumbbells. These items will add variety to your daily exercise routine, but they will also allow you to increase in resistance and weight as you increase in strength.
Okay. So you actually got right into it with what students have to do. That was going to be kind of, as we're getting close to the end, be like, help the students. But that's great. Everything that you mentioned is right on point. The top 3 ones that I get, and it's funny because just recently, some of my friends on our WhatsApp group were just talking about exercising and cost. And I've always said that is the number 1 reason I get from my students is cost.
Yes.
So you touch on all that. My top 3 is time constraints, which I've always said you can make time, even if it's 30 minutes. Okay.
Or 15 minutes.
Or 15 minutes. Thank you. We can get into that. Limited resources, you touch on that. The gyms are expensive. And again, that should not be an excuse because they are easier, cheaper ways to do that.
Yes.
Students always ask me, why do I get so tired or I get more tired when I exercise? Help me with that a little bit because I've explained it in different ways. I said, when I get up in the morning, and again, I'm saying this not to say I exercise every day. I'm not even close to what you do. I'm going to ask you about your routine, but I know how important it is. So when I don't do it, there's the guilty part of me that says, you only committed to 1 hour, only 3 times a week. You should be able to do that, right? So that's the guilt that I use to exercise. But in your opinion, what is the myth, or if it's true about, oh, when I exercise, I get too tired?
Okay, so if you're just beginning,
Yeah.
and this is not something you do regularly, the endurance is not there. So you may be tired physically.
Yes.
And therefore, you are putting additional stress on your body. So you're going to be a little tired. You may need a nap.
Okay.
As you continue to do this, those things will improve over time.
Okay.
Because regular exercise helps with a number of things.
Right.
It helps with brain health. It helps with better sleep.
Okay.
It helps with your mood, stress level, energy level, anxiety, healthier heart, weight management. It'll help strengthen your immune system. It'll also help improve your confidence because that's another major thing that people struggle with.
Right.
And we all know when we look good, we feel good. So what do you do when you feel good and you see something's working?
Right.
You continue to do it.
Great.
So the more you do it, you're going to feel better.
Right.
You're going to look better. Your endurance is going to pick up. Your energy level is going to pick up.
Right.
I know if I don't work out, I'm actually tired. I'm sluggish. So on the days I do work out, surprisingly, are the days I feel the best at my best.
Wow. Great. I should probably switch chairs with you because every question that it was going to be my next question, you get right into it, which is great. Because I was going to ask you, help us understand the importance of exercising, and you touch on every one of them to the teeth. So let me now just ask you about your routine. What is your workout routine? Is it Monday through Sunday?
It's about to be.
Oh, wow.
So I actually scaled back. When I was competing, it was Monday through Sunday because there's so much to do. When I tell you there's so much to do when you're a competitor, like we said, I need a whole show for that.
Right.
Now, once I stopped competing because I had the flexibility to do what I want to do now, I started going Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I will touch on Sunday.
Okay.
Now that my daughter has expressed she wants to come, now I have to go Monday through Saturday. Okay. But regularly I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I do like a full body workout on Sunday.
All right. And I should add that you do train people as well.
I do train people. I'm a personal trainer as well.
Right.
Yes.
So when do you train and when do you do your own training? Or are you also training while you're training people?
I do not do that.
Okay.
I do not recommend that. That is not the proper training session because you can't really give the time and attention that you need to when you, or to yourself. You can't give it to them and you can't give it to yourself Because if you're supposed to be training them and you're focused on you need to get you together, how are you focused on their needs? Because their needs differ from yours.
Okay.
Same thing, vice versa.
Right.
So I give everybody their own personal time. You have your own time slot because you're paying me for that.
Right.
And I usually train them first in the mornings, and then I get in my car and then I go train myself.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So I have a very early day, very early start to my day. But it works out because I want them to enjoy the rest of their day and I want to enjoy the rest of my day. So I actually only train from a certain window to a certain window.
Okay.
And then I don't train in the afternoons or at night.
Okay. Good. Is there anything like too much exercising?
Of course.
Okay.
Always too much exercising. Like too much of anything will kill you, right?
Help us with that.
Water's great, but too much of that.
Even though the 50% I'm trying to get, I hope that question doesn't come up like, am I exercising too much? But they're not doing anything at all, so I'm hoping at least they're starting.
Right.
But
So,
what is too much exercising?
Well, everything in moderation.
Okay.
So the body needs to rest, right? We have to recover.
Right.
So if you're constantly working out and then you're constantly on your feet or you're constantly active while you're out at school or at work, and then you go work out again and then you're not getting enough hours of sleep and then you're back up and you're working out again, your body's not having time to recover.
Okay.
So resting is just as important, if not more important, than working out. Do enough, do what you need to, but the body must rest. If the body does not rest, it's going to add stress to the body. Your cortisol levels are going to raise up, so you're going to start holding fluids, and you're going to wonder why you're not seeing the results, but it's because your body's under so much stress. So when you rest, it allows the body to flush. So then when you get up, it's going to release all of that. So all that hard work that you're doing is now you can actually showcase it.
Okay, that's great. So now I feel very good about my Monday, Wednesday, Friday workout.
Oh, you're on my workout.
Oh, really? Okay.
What I just said, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Great. Now I feel great. Okay, that's good. Wow, this is very good. What are some of the strategies or routine that you think we could suggest to help students? I think you touched on that, but this is the point where, again, trying to make sure students don't use any excuses, they don't have any excuses. Please help us with some of the basic exercise routines students can get on to exercise. That doesn't cost money, doesn't take too much time, and also, may I add, that it will have fun doing. Yeah.
So as I mentioned previously, I would say walking, jogging, calisthenics, jumping rope, riding a bike. These are things that you can do at the park, you can do at school, you can do at home. You can go online, you can Google some things that will actually take you through the workouts because a lot of the reasons include not having the skill. Right. So if you Google something and you go on YouTube, there's someone there that's like your personal trainer. They're not there with you physically, but they're teaching you how to properly perform that exercise and walking you through how to do it. Hopefully that'll take the ease off of, I don't know, so therefore I'm doing nothing. Okay, so there's so much information. There's too many things out there for you to utilize to get something in. So definitely the things we named, but then also the things I named. But then also going online, pulling up a video. You can even do a timed video where it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever your time frame is, and you can perform those exercises with the instructor that's giving them to you. And it saves you money because you didn't have to pay anything to do that.
Okay. So I know I've always said whatever time you exercise, it's okay. It's better than not exercising at all. What are your recommendations on starting your day with an exercise or late at night? Because I have students, usually those are the times. Mornings, I know is very challenging, but what would be your preference in terms of start early or start late? Or does it even matter?
It does matter. But again, the goal here is to get people to become physically active. Everybody has different schedules, so you need to work around your schedule. I personally like to work out first thing in the morning because, again, we're talking about getting your blood flowing, opening up the oxygen, allowing you to be prepared for the day. It helps your mental state.
Right.
It helps the way you're going to respond to people. It helps how you're going to interact with people. It starts to calm down your stress and anxiety. These are things that you would like before you go to school or before you go to work. But if that's not the case and you can't get there, it's better to do it after instead of not doing it at all. At least you'll have released some of the stress that you've accumulated throughout the day before you lay your head on the pillow.
Good. All right, let's switch real quick since I really can't separate exercising and nutrition. It's bad enough when you're not exercising, and it's worse when you're not eating right either.
Right.
Help us out with some nutrition or suggestions on how to eat well, whether you're exercising or you're not exercising.
Okay, so whether you're exercising or not,
yes.
you want to keep a regular eating schedule.
Right.
You want to, if eating 3 well-balanced meals per day plus snacks should give you enough energy to last all day.
Right.
It'll also help you keep an active metabolism.
Okay.
We've all heard, don't skip breakfast because it's the most important meal of the day.
Guilty.
It's the most important meal of the day, and that's because it is. But I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
A study found that students' current GPA significantly increased with the number of days reported eating breakfast. And according to the National Center for Biotechnology Information, skipping breakfast was associated with poor academic performance and poor mental health.
Okay, students, eat breakfast, please. Just eat breakfast.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Myself included. Okay.
Even if it's something, it doesn't have to be quick. I mean, there are a few grab-and-go snacks that are my go-to.
Okay.
Just to name a few,
Right.
you have fruits, specifically berries.
Yeah.
They're considered the best fruit for brain health.
Okay.
2 to 3 servings a week. Nuts, they contain vitamin E. They contain compounds that may help support brain health. You want to try to eat those 5 days a week. Then you have Greek yogurt.
Okay.
That's a good on-the-go healthy snack you can grab. Vegetables, asparagus, broccoli.
I feel like you're targeting me right now.
Spinach.
Okay.
What's another good one? Brussels sprouts.
Okay, carrots.
So the green ones have vitamins and folate in them that are good for brain health. So right now, the ones that I'm giving you, they help with brain health. They help support brain health because when we're dealing with college students, or even if we're not dealing with college students, just in general, you want your brain to be sharp.
Good.
So these are a few easy grab-and-go snacks that you can take with you that if you don't have time to sit and eat a full meal, that can still help you support your brain health.
Right. What about callaloo?
About?
Callaloo? Is it greens? Is it
callaloo?
Callaloo, yeah, is a greens that Jamaicans eat quite a little bit of.
So if it's greens,
it's greens, yes.
And you eat 6, you can eat 6 or more servings of greens per week.
Yeah.
If you do that, and having a mixture of good greens as well as a mixture of a variety of dark green vegetables will also give you a variety of nutrients. So eating all vegetables are really good, but focusing in on the dark green vegetables specifically is what's really going to help you with that brain health.
Okay, that's great. So get your callaloos, get your cassava leaves, get your cocoyam leaves. They all work, right?
Yes.
Water.
Oh my gosh, I was going to touch on that. That is that is extremely important. Staying hydrated is extremely important. I really can't stress this enough.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you why it's important.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
So water cleanses the body.
Okay.
Right? It also transports vitamins and nutrients that help give us energy. So that could be a reason why a lot of students or people are feeling tired, especially when they're working out, because what do we do when we work out? We sweat, right? So we're losing water, and if you haven't adequately hydrated, then you're losing more water that you already don't have. So your body is feeling more drained, if anything. So that could be something that's contributing to feeling tired. It's also crucial for your mental and physical health, particularly our muscles, skin, and our joints. So if you want to keep those joints mobile, make sure you're drinking water. If you're not adequately hydrated, your body will not be able to perform at its optimal level, with what we touched on, leaving you feeling hungry, tired, or dizzy. It may even cause you to get muscle cramps, dry skin, or other symptoms. Right. It's really important to hydrate after you exercise, but it also nourishes the body to help you get a good night's rest. Okay. So drinking water is extremely important.
Thank you. Okay. We're getting pretty close. We got to talk about your book here, but help me help my students. How can one maintain consistency? Because this was going to happen. We're having a discussion. Students are going to see this, and the first thing they're going to say is, okay, I'm going to start working out. And sadly, that happens 3 weeks, and then we're done. And I've always said, this is my little strategy. Start slow so you don't have any excuse for not doing it.
Yes.
So if it's, okay, I'm going to walk around the block for 15 minutes once a week, there should not be an excuse for you not to do that. But what are your thoughts on how one can maintain consistency when it comes to exercising?
So this is a good one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So what I want to remind students is that this is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah.
Set realistic fitness goals. Another great thing is write them down. Put them somewhere you can see them. Because it's not just about what you say, it's also about what you visually see.
Okay.
Celebrate your accomplishments. Even the small ones. You're walking around the block and that took you 5 minutes. That's still important. So celebrate that you did that. Great. And even if that's all you can do for the first month, it's still important. Celebrate it.
Okay.
Another huge thing is to give yourself grace, right? Especially those who are just starting out.
Right.
If you fall off track, don't beat yourself up. It's okay. Pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, regroup, and get back on track. Okay. It's really that simple.
Right.
A great thing is stay focused on what's in front of you, not what's behind you. And when I say this is important to do, it will be the game changer for some people.
That's great.
And the game changer is going to be speak daily affirmations.
Okay.
Say things like, I am fit. I can do this. I am strong. I am enough. I'm an overcomer. I'm victorious. I will accomplish my fitness goals. I will make it to the finish line. If you say these daily affirmations, I believe that you will and can maintain consistency and accomplish all you set out to do.
Great. I feel like you're just closing us out right now with that, but I'm going to have you do a better closing. Not that this wasn't great. This was great. This was great. But we still got to talk about your book here. No, great points. In celebrating ourselves, if I walk around the block once, can I go get some ice cream just to, or is that not a good strategy?
It's not a good strategy, but here's the deal. What you can do is, if you walk around that block 5 days a week, on day 6, get yourself some ice cream.
Thank you. Run that by me again. That seemed like a lot of walking, but
So remember, you're trying to be physically active every day. Right. So even if you're doing 5 minutes of walking around the block to celebrate what you've done and your accomplishment, do that for 5 days, and then to reward yourself, go and get your ice cream on day number 6.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think we could do that, guys. I think we could really do that. All right, Miss Angelina, this has been great. But we got to talk about your book here before I let you leave. Your book, which I'm very, very happy, to kind of, the very little that I could do to kind of help you out. But I know your focus has been for this book to honor your family and your amazing kids, Jermaine, Jamel, and Blessed. Blessed. Okay. Thank you. For their unwavering love and support. What motivated you? Let's start from there. What motivated you to really, say, I'm finally going to do this? And you've been trying to do this for a while. So
a long time.
Yes.
So I wrote this probably over 14 years ago. Originally, not this finished product, but I did have the actual book that I put together. So my motivation for saying I need to get this done was just knowing that there's a need out there, a need in our education system, especially for our early education children. There's just not a lot of good educational material out there, you know, for our children. So this was very important to me to get this out. Of course, my children played a role in this. Just want to show them that, you know, you can accomplish whatever you set out to do and do it in something you're passionate about that you feel can make an impact within the community and beyond.
Good. Tell us what it's about.
Okay, so Hip Hop ABCs is a book that touches on the foundational skills of reading and writing. So I wrote this book because I wanted to give back within the community, but also I wanted to make sure that children, not only of today, but for generations to come, can master the alphabet. So my vision for Hip Hop ABCs is for it to be a timeless book. I also understand that reading and writing is a foundational skill. And therefore, I wanted to create something that's fun and engaging for children all over the world to enhance learnability. It's also my passion and my desire and my hope that I can equip all children with the foundational tools necessary to help lead them to a bright, successful future. Because education should not be a privilege for some children, but it should be a right for all children. And that is why one book out of 10 books purchased, I donate to local underprivileged elementary schools. And if you, your listeners, college students, or those watching would like to ensure that no child is left out, you can click on the Amazon link or the Public Durham Library link, which will be in the description attached to this video, and we'll make a difference together.
Sounds good. All right. Well, you heard it, Miss Angelina. Once again, it's my pleasure to have you here. Great advice that you shared. I'm still going to have you do a quick closing on exercise and nutrition before I close this out. What advice do you have for our college students to exercise?
So I've given
I think you've
quite a bit of information, but what I want to leave you with is something that I feel is very important, and that is motivating you, because a lot of activity, physical activity, is not just about what you do with your body, and it's not just about eating food. It's also about your mental state, your mind, because that right there is the biggest battle for anybody to overcome, myself included. So I would just like to leave your students with some encouragement. So first and foremost, I want you to understand that you are not powerless, you are powerful. That you are so much stronger than you think you are. The power is in your hands. It's not in somebody else's hands. You hold the keys to your future. So don't spend countless time, energy, or effort griping about what happened yesterday. You can't change yesterday. Yesterday has come and yesterday has gone. But you can definitely change today and all the days ahead of you. Don't allow life to dictate to you what will be. Exercise your power over your life, and you decide what can and will happen. Use your keys to open the doors of your life.
Wow. How can I follow that? I'm going to keep it simple. That was a great closing, Miss Angelina.
Thank you.
My suggestion is sharpen your brain by exercising. I'm going to leave it as that. Once again, it was my pleasure to have Miss Angelina here. She has to come back. There's a lot that we still need to talk about. But again, we're empowering minds one episode at a time. Don't drink beer, live beer. Balance, eat well, exercise, and rest is my beer. That's a spells beer. So,
okay.
Yes. But thanks again for coming. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. It was my pleasure.
Anytime.